And I'm Liz.
And we're sisters,
Scientists.
and lifelong X-Files fans.
And this is We Want to Believe.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to a very special bonus episode of We Want to Believe, where we're going to answer listener questions. Should I go first?
Let's do it.
All right.
Let's jump right in.
So, Wolfram7184 asked, who do you relate to more, Mulder or Scully?
I used to think Mulder. And one of the things I said at the start of this, before we started rewatching them all, was I want to see if that still feels true.
Yeah, what is it so far?
I want to be like, neither. I mean, mostly, though, I relate to Scully's irritation with Mulder.
Oh, sure.
But
yeah.
I do think... I feel like I'm more of a hybrid than I used to be.
Yeah.
That I think I feel like... No, we do have to, look into this. We have to not just run at things, as seems to be Mulder's MO, just to, run it.
There's a wolf over there.
Yeah,
I'm
run
chase
towards
it.
Just run towards things. Maybe stop and do things a little more thoroughly.
Yeah.
As far as beliefs, I feel like I'd like to think if I were in these situations, I would be more like Mulder, because Scully has seen a lot at this point, and it seems like she should believe in stuff and have a more open mind than perhaps she does. But as far as actual behavior and procedure stuff, I feel like I would lean more Scully than I used to, because come on, get your ducks in a row here, Mulder, before you go and end up, accidentally trapped by the government getting an injection in your eyeball or whatever,
Right. See, and I have always very, very much more identified with Scully, but I feel like I have also leaned more in the middle, and I feel like more of a hybrid of the two, where I feel like I identify more with Mulder. I would still say I mostly identify with Scully, but yeah, so some of the things they've seen, you have to be like, well, but you saw in Shadows that guy being suspended in the air by nothing, right?
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
exactly.
There has to be some sort of explanation that you're not accounting for.
Right.
I mean,
yeah.
So I would say still Scully, but leaning more towards Mulder than I used to.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I did used to. When I was a teenager, I remember talking about how I wanted to go into science, and it was around the same time that I started watching the X-Files, because before that, I remember I wanted to go into theater of some sort. I wanted to be a makeup artist, I think, for theater productions. And then I took a hard left turn into biology, and I remember our mom saying to me at one point, that's cool, but you're not just doing this because of Scully, are you? And me being like, no, of course not. And in my head, I'm going, yeah, is that bad? So
that's hilarious.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Sorry for lying, Mom. And speaking of her, Mary Telfer Fine Art, which is our mother, asked, do you have an all-time favorite episode?
Yes. Easy. Bad Blood. How do you choose anything other than Bad Blood?
Well, so I kept going back and forth between Bad Blood and War of the Coprophages.
War of the Coprophages is really good.
I just love all the her name is Bambi stuff, all the Mulder and Scully.
So just to give you a little bit of background real quick, Bad Blood is the classic season 5 episode that is told Rashomon style, where it's the same events told from Mulder's point of view and Scully's point of view. And the way they do it, the contrast is so well done and so hilarious.
It's so good.
And by the time you get to season 5, you know the characters so well, and so all the little jokes about the stereotypical way they behave, it's incredible. It's the sort of thing that wouldn't be that funny if you weren't familiar with the show, but once you are, it's perfect.
Yeah.
And it's coming about because Mulder put a stake through a teenager's heart, and obviously Skinner, their boss, who we still haven't seen right now.
At this point, yeah.
But, he's you have to answer for what you did. And so Mulder and Scully decide, well, what do we actually think happened down there? And they're talking it over, and it goes through both of their perspectives. And it's
Luke Wilson is in it.
Luke Wilson is in it. The kid from The Sandlot is in it. He's the one who gets staked through the heart. It's a vampire episode, which I love vampires.
Wonderful.
It's just perfect.
Yeah.
Then War of the Coprophages has alien cockroaches
Or like robot?
Or like robot cockroaches.
Kind of. It's vague.
And a sexy entomologist named Dr. Bambi.
Yeah.
And it's also really good and funny.
Yeah, it's great.
I mean, I think the humor episodes of The X-Files are really great.
They are.
I think...
How the Ghost Stole Christmas is
that's
also
a
one of
good
my
one.
favorites.
Yeah, that's a good
with
one.
Lily Tomlin and Ed Asner.
Yeah.
And
that is a good one.
Yeah. I remember forcing our mom to watch that one because she loves both Lily Tomlin and Ed Asner, but it fell on deaf ears a little bit because...
And I mean, I think, yeah.
Which, fair.
Part of the, I think, issue with the funny ones is that a lot of the humor is these characters so well, and so you just show them to a random person who doesn't know the show that well.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work quite as well.
Yeah, but they're fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that it also bears mentioning that Clyde Bruckman's Final Repose is a classic.
See, everyone says that. I just don't get into that one as much.
What is wrong with you?
A lot.
It's so good.
I don't know. The sweet potato pie, right?
Well, yeah, and also it has Jesse Ventura playing a man in black, and
really?
I assure you, it is only the planet Venus.
Yeah, I mean, I know, and I feel like I quote that a decent amount.
Yeah.
But I don't know. So we'll see.
I think, well, then that one comes up sooner. I think that's season 2 or 3, and it's also funny, but with a little bit more like heart.
Now, what would be your all-time favorite conspiracy episode?
I honestly don't remember. They kind of all blur together for me. I think if we were to say favorite non-humor episode and just leave it at that, I think... I'm not sure.
I would say Tunguska and that series of episodes where they go to... Well, it is the one where Mulder ends up punching Krychek in the face.
Oh my god.
Times.
Oh my god. Oh, those are so good.
Yeah.
Those are so good. Yes.
He ends up like taking him under duress to Russia.
Yes.
And they're like in the woods of Russia.
Oh my god, I forgot about those.
Yeah.
Those are so good. Yes.
Yeah, so those I think are some of my favorite.
Yes.
But I mean, Bad Blood is probably the top one.
Yeah.
It's probably
it's so good.
It is. It's so good. Yeah. So that leads us into that curious girl who asked, what is your favorite season and why?
What do you think?
I feel like season 4 is probably my favorite.
I feel like that's a really good season to choose. I personally would choose season 5.
Yeah. See that? Yeah. Season 5 is also great. Season 4 has Musings of a Cigarette Smoking Man.
Oh, that is a really good one, which we haven't seen the cigarette smoking man since episode 1.
Yeah.
That's all he did was kind of be suspicious, smoke a cigarette, and then put the evidence from the case in like a file box in a giant room.
Yeah. That also is the one with Tunguska and Terma. That's the other one. And Paper Hearts is another one in that.
Oh, Paper Hearts is really good.
Yeah, that's really good. There's not very many it's a pretty intense season 4.
Yeah.
Season 5 though is fantastic.
Yeah, season 5. Okay, so season 5 has Bad Blood, which as we've established is amazing. It also has Kitsunagari, which is one of my favorite episodes. That's one with Robert Modell, Pusher.
Oh.
And he basically can talk people into dying. Yeah, not like into killing themselves, into like convincing them they're having a heart attack and they die. Or he says cerulean blue, the color of the sky, and makes this person not see a truck and get hit by it in traffic,
Yeah. Oh, it also has All Souls, which is super creepy and one that has always freaked me out with like the Seraphim. That's like kind of a religious one.
God, I don't even remember that one.
Really?
Yeah.
I believe there's some stigmata in it, which is why I didn't watch it for years because I was too scared. And Emily is also in season 5.
Oh, God, there's so
with
much
the
I've
little
forgotten.
Girl. Yeah, I know. Well, in and Detour, which is Which one is Detour?
Oh, God. Detour is one where Mulder and Scully get in the woods, and there's like a fungus that's making them hallucinate, and they keep thinking they've left, and then they haven't, and they're still in the woods.
Is that one? Or is that the one where Queequeg gets eaten?
That's a different in the woods one.
Oh, okay.
There's not a hallucinogenic mushroom in that one. There's like a lake monster in that one.
Right. That eats
Queequeg. Yeah.
Scully's dog.
Yeah. And you know I'm a dog person. It's somehow they managed to pull it off in a way that doesn't make me feel sad.
Yeah.
We'll see. I've gotten even more sad dog-wise since college, so maybe it will make me sad, but at the time it was okay.
Yeah.
Season 5 also has Unusual Suspects about the lone gunman.
Oh, yeah.
I really like that one.
Yeah.
Buyers, chasing
Yeah.
that girl. So I think season 5 is perfect.
Good.
It is, so the show was filmed in Vancouver up through season 5, and then
really?
it switched to being filmed in LA, and you can tell
really?
that the episodes just get sunnier looking. And so season 5 is the last one that has the sort of classic X-Files gloominess.
Oh,
And
really?
I like season 6. I still think there's like plenty to like in that one.
Yeah.
But I feel like season 5, it's like really clicking. Really, seasons 3, 4, 5. I mean, there's great episodes in most seasons.
Yeah. 3 too is another good one. 3 has Pusher, which is the first.
That's the first one with Robert Modell.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's season 3. I just looked it up. Is where Jose Chunks from Outer Space is.
I was mixing up Jose Chunks from Outer Space and Clyde Bruckman's Final Repose. It has been recorded. I feel deep shame. I'm so sorry, everyone. Jose Chunks from Outer Space is the episode I was referring to with Jesse Ventura playing the Man in Black. For everyone who heard this and thought, that feels wrong to me. It was wrong, and I'm deeply, deeply sorry.
You should be very
I feel like very tempted to ask Zach to just go back and erase things, but I won't.
No.
The world needs
right.
to know. I'm sorry. It's been a long time since I watched them.
Yeah.
Jose Chunks from Outer Space is the episode I was referring to that was hilarious. Clyde Bruckman's Final Repose, also funny, but a little bit more touching.
Oh, and actually that's in season 3 too.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah,
fair.
that one is also really good and entertaining, but that's the one with more like heart and sort of some bittersweet stuff. I just kind of combined them.
When I was saying that it wasn't my favorite, I was thinking of Jose Chunks from Outer Space.
Oh,
too.
you were?
I was.
Oh, so you're still wrong.
Yeah. So yes,
okay.
I still am wrong.
Okay.
Even though you were also wrong.
Yeah. I mean, you're wrong.
Two wrongs don't make it right.
No, you're wrong on like your opinion is wrong.
Yeah.
And my facts are wrong. And probably I'm the wronger one. God, I hate when I do stuff like that.
It's okay. Season 3 also has Quagmire, which is when Queequeg gets eaten.
Yes.
Yeah. And some good plot advancing ones like Nisai and 737.
Yeah. 731.
731. Oops.
That actually...
737. Oops. And The Blessing Way and Paperclip.
Yeah, 731 is one that actually just got brought up between me and Adam because it has to do with Japanese history.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Adam is your husband. I don't know if you've
he's my husband, and he's a historian.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And one of his subfields is modern Japan, and that relates to the episode 731.
What is modern Japan? Like where? How far back
you
does
gotta watch
that go
out for the word modern. For historians,
exactly.
Modern starts in like the 1500s or something. Yeah, like maybe 1600s. I don't know, but it's outrageously a long time ago. Yeah, like. I mean, I guess I should say I know in modern Europe that's how it works. I assume that it's the same with modern Japan.
Yeah. Well, and that gets confusing too because like people have different words for different places in history depending on like the geographic location.
Do they?
Like, yeah. I mean, even the word prehistoric means totally different things based on where you are in the world because recorded history was recorded at different times in different places.
Oh, interesting. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so weird.
Yeah. That's why I just use, and archaeologists in general, just use BP before present, years before present.
Oh,
so it's just,
no kidding.
It was this many years before present. It was this many years ago.
No kidding.
Which is easier.
All right.
Yeah.
I was hoping you were going to say olden days. Which is why anthropologists use the words olden days. So.
The technical term for it. Okay, so Molly Kelly, or Kelly 2 Whisk, asks, asks, what mythical monster or other paranormal being scared you the most as a kid? How about now?
Oh, that's such a good question.
It's such a good question. And I also feel like it's such a hard question because I want to be like, all of them.
I know, I was thinking that. I was thinking that exact answer. I would say for me, I was probably most afraid of ghosts as a child.
Yeah.
All right, this is going to sound like a weird distinction. They seemed like the biggest threat.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean, though. Because, like
I would ultimately maybe be
Right.
more scared of a vampire or something.
If you had any sort of evidence that they were alive.
Oh, well, at the time in my childhood, I thought the neighbors were vampires down the street.
Did you actually, though? I mean,
Well,
you
okay.
probably didn't actually.
Yes and no. I swear to God, except not really. I saw a body laying in their garage, headless, with blood dripping from the neck. But also, I know I didn't, but I remember seeing it.
Huh.
Because we ran,
Right.
But if I'd really seen that, there's no way that my reaction would have been, let's form a club to study these people. It will have different colored badges based on how much you look in their house.
Oh my God.
We would creep in their backyard and look in their garbage bins.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So if I'm confident, if I had seen an actual dead body as a child, that is not how I would have responded to it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I can picture it.
Yeah, it's weird how that happens.
Yeah. I mean, memory is weird.
Memory
I don't
is
trust
super
it.
weird.
Yeah.
No, you shouldn't trust
no.
it.
Oh, we've talked about this because I think I
Yeah.
was going to try to convince you, like in that study, that you'd been lost at Disney World.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, don't trust memory.
Yeah.
But I mean, so I will say this. They never felt like a threat.
Yeah,
If
right.
they were vampires, I wasn't afraid of them. Ghosts felt like a very real threat.
Yeah.
I remembered, it's nighttime. You got to go downstairs.
Oh, God, going
and get a
downstairs
drink of water.
was the worst.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
Because what's down
Yeah.
there? Ghosts.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Mean ones.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would agree. I would say for sure ghosts when I was a kid.
One
I never
time
had
I got scared of Bigfoot.
Well, when
which
we
is
were didn't we get scared of Bigfoot when we were on vacation in Arizona?
Oh, yeah. Well,
Or were we scared of something else?
I don't
Is that
know.
when we got scared of aliens? This is going to be a longer episode.
I know. I got scared of Bigfoot when we were in Corey's basement the summer after I graduated high school. It was just dark enough that it felt like somehow somebody said something about Bigfoot being the missing link and we all got spooked. I don't know why. Because I don't remember being afraid of Bigfoot since. You definitely don't need to be afraid of Bigfoot in suburban Illinois.
Definitely not. I would strongly say you don't ever.
Yeah.
But unless we're talking
Helen's
about
coming out with a bold statement here. I don't know.
Well, you would be surprised the number of times I've had biological anthropology students ask me about Bigfoot.
Really?
Oh God, yeah. Like everyone has those stories. Or every biological anthropologist has stories about being asked about Bigfoot. I mean,
that's awesome.
when are we going to learn about Bigfoot? I mean,
when are we going to learn about Bigfoot?
Yeah.
Not are we, but when are we?
Yeah. Interestingly, I was actually just
Did
teaching
you say,
the other
that's
day.
not till spring semester? Or
That's semester 2.
Yeah.
You got to keep going.
Yeah.
It's like with Scientology, where it's not until you get to a certain level where they tell you about the aliens.
Yeah.
You have to get to a certain level of grad school.
And then we tell you about Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was actually just teaching the other day. I mean, I can see how it gets confusing. There was Gigantopithecus, which was the largest primate ever alive.
That's fabulous.
Yeah, and so that guy was big. I
How
mean,
big
like
was
that's
he?
like Bigfoot size.
All right, Bigfoot not being real. Is he
7 foot tall?
Okay, so here's the thing, Helen. I don't know that you've been following March Madness at all, but
No.
I have.
Oh,
And they're really tall, some
Yeah.
of those guys.
yeah.
So they're like a Gigantopithecus.
Well, no, because they're still gracile apes instead of robust. But
Yes. Adam and I sit and we watch March Madness and I think, look at those gracile apes.
you will now.
I will. No, that...
Okay, hold
But,
on.
okay,
hold on.
so,
I'm gonna look
so
up a picture.
Gigantopithecus was a very tall individual ape that is not a human.
Right, that is...
Could he have played basketball?
Oh, I mean, I want to say, like, of course. But, well, he wasn't necessarily habitually bipedal, meaning that he wasn't always...
He didn't make a habit of it.
Yeah, he didn't make a habit of it. We are habitually bipedal. Sometimes chimps can be bipedal, meaning they can walk on two legs, but they're not, like, set up for it. So here's a picture of a recreation of Gigantopithecus.
Oh, he's adorable.
Yeah, he's a nice big guy.
I think he could definitely play basketball.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think he's bigger than the average basketball player.
Yeah, I don't... He's bigger. I don't know if he's taller. I mean, no, probably he is.
Yeah.
NBA players? I don't know. Okay, so this is all coming out of a conversation I had with my husband and stepson about whether or not...
I can't wait.
Whether or not I could learn to dunk basketball. I don't know.
Whether or not you can learn to dunk a basketball?
Yeah. I mean, I'm 40. I'm a woman. I'm not...
Because your vertical leap is not super impressive.
No, I'm not.
Well, there have been short basketball players, though.
Yeah, Quinn was like, well, Spud Webb.
Right.
And I was like, how tall was Spud Webb? He was shorter than me?
Yeah.
So could I learn? And Adam was like, no.
Oh, he didn't believe in you.
No, he didn't believe in me at all. I was like, well, what if I dedicated like the next year of my life to learning to dunk a basketball, and I used a slightly smaller ball because I have smaller hands?
Yeah.
And he said, your knees hurt when you go up the stairs. And Quinn was watching like, this is like brutal.
So Quinn believed in you.
I think Quinn was more willing to humor me.
Less vocal about it.
Yeah. It's just an utterly ridiculous idea, but like I was like, oh, so people my height can dunk.
Yeah.
So therefore I could learn to
I would
dunk.
say it's not out of the realm of possibility.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Like if I had, let's say this.
Yeah.
Let's say I win the lottery and I can quit my job and I can hire the best coaches in the world and all we focus on is my vertical leap.
I think it's possible.
Thank you.
I think it's possible. Anyway.
I am 5'9" for the record.
Yeah.
I'm tall for a woman.
Yes. You're not short.
But I'm very bad at jumping and I do have bad knees.
Yeah.
So there is that.
But
I'd like to believe it's still possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's still possible.
Think it is. I
do
think
too.
it is. I think it's unlikely.
Very. But
she said quickly.
I also think it's very unlikely that I could learn to dunk.
Well, you're 2 inches shorter than me.
That's true. No, that one basketball player though was 5'6". I'm 5'7".
Yeah.
So
okay, well there you go. Yeah.
Anyway, so what about now? Let's say.
Oh, what am I most afraid of
Yeah.
now? Probably still ghosts.
Yeah.
It just seems like good common sense. I mean, here's the thing. Am I afraid of ghosts right now in this moment?
Right.
No.
Right.
It's light out.
Yeah.
But last night, laying in bed, it's dark out.
Yeah.
And I hear Archer's my
Archer's
dog.
Mm-hmm.
But Archer is my dog that me and my husband share with our good friends, Chris and Tasha. Archer was with Chris and Tasha last night.
Oh. Ugh.
I did not care for that. I was like, well, we're going to die.
Yeah.
And then I realized, no, it was just windy out and something was hitting the house.
Right.
I think. But in the dark, it's basically like you could convince me to be afraid of anything if it's dark out.
See, maybe it comes from listening to so many true crime podcasts, but I'm so much more afraid of real people.
Yes.
That, it doesn't... My first instinct is... Like, when I was a kid, I think my first instinct would be it's a ghost if there's something scary, whereas now my first instinct is it's a killer.
Oh, and and actually, good point, because last night when I heard that, I thought someone's been hiding in our closet for the last 6 hours, just waiting for us to come up to bed, and now they're going to kill us.
Yeah.
Or it's a ghost, but that was sort of secondary. So my first thought was very quiet, patient murderer hiding in my walk-in closet.
Yeah. And I would say that's more likely.
All right.
That's a tough call. It's a tough statistical call.
of humans
Yes.
hiding and
Yes.
murdering people.
We don't have proof of ghosts.
No.
So yeah, I guess
So I would say it is
I would
more
say
likely.
ghosts. If we lump demons in with ghosts, if we separate them, I'm way more afraid of demons.
As we've discussed. Yeah.
Yes.
And I
Yeah.
they
Way more.
don't really register for me. Demons. I mean, again, were it dark out?
Right.
Sure. Would I be afraid of demons? Sure.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. I don't know if I
but,
told this story on here or not, that I was having a glass of wine with my neighbor, who's a friend of mine, and we started talking about demons, and I can't
like you
remember if
do.
it was...
You did not tell this story on the podcast because I don't even remember this story.
Oh, okay. I thought it was you who said this. I was talking about so we started talking about demons, and she said that she believes in them. She thinks they are real, and I was saying, like, I don't, and then we were getting down to it, and she's like, well, why are you so scared of them?
Oh, you did mention this.
Yeah.
Because if you were afraid of them,
Right,
you would
why
not be able
would
to
I?
function.
Yes.
Because that's similar to when I saw The Cure.
Yes.
And I couldn't let myself know it was really Robert Smith or I would have rushed the stage.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, so then the follow-up to that was then I left her house. It was like 11, but I lived like 2 blocks from her. But I had driven from work, and so I was going... No, I couldn't have. That would have been too late. This is like the missing time from that episode.
Yeah. Ooh.
I don't know. Maybe I was just lazy. No, maybe I just drove myself because it was nighttime and I wasn't going to walk. That's fair. But it was late and I was driving back and I got really, really scared. And I was telling someone this. I thought it was you. I was saying how scared I was, mostly because of that conversation. And whoever it was like, well, wait, were you scared of demons or your friend? And I was like,
that wasn't me.
no, I was like, demons. I'm not scared of my friend.
Oh, I also want to give a shout out to aliens. It's something
Yeah.
I've been real afraid of. I was terrified of aliens in my teenage years
Yeah.
because my boyfriend lived around the block
Yeah.
from us.
Yeah. No, this is why I'm afraid of aliens too, because of that same ex-boyfriend of yours.
Hey there, Matt.
Thanks. Because he once said that he was worried about it being dark at night and him going to get a drink of water in the kitchen and there being an alien there. And that has stuck in my head to this day, so that whenever I get up to get a drink of water at night, I worry if there's an alien in my kitchen, purely because Matt worried about it.
See, kitchen's not so bad alien-wise for me because I think they're going to be outside. My concern was when we were dating, if it was summer, we would walk back and forth to each other's house.
Yeah.
And so if I would be coming into the house at night alone,
Yeah.
or even if I drove or whatever, I'd be coming in at night, sure that an alien was going to get me. I
Yeah.
just remember running into the house. Like, there was
God.
just like, get the key ready. I don't know why I thought they'd try to get me right at the end as opposed to anywhere else in the walk. But, I mean, we also live near cornfields. And
Yeah.
I mean...
The movie Signs did some damage.
Oh, see, we were more like... We were really ready for Signs. Like, we were like the prime demographic to be terrified by that movie.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we were already afraid.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I feel like it just increased things, though. Like,
I see.
before, aliens were more like X-Filey, like, little green men-ish, you know?
No, I was afraid. Again,
I wasn't.
I'm slightly older. I
Yeah.
had the Fire in the Sky and, oh my God, of course, Communion. Do you remember Communion?
I've never seen it.
I haven't seen it either. I haven't read... It was a book first, ostensibly true. I'm sure it wasn't. But I believe our mom, I think it was our mom, was reading it. And I just remember seeing it sit around the house with the big, scary, traditional alien face on it.
Oh, yeah.
And, like,
I can picture that.
That stuck in my head.
Huh. I remember watching, what was that movie where they were in, like, pods? It was, like, vaguely alien-ish.
Cocoon?
Cocoon!
Yeah.
Yeah. Cocoon
That's like
really
a
freaked me out.
I thought that was like a heartwarming one.
Is it?
And like the old people, they get like kind of like young again, and like the water is like rejuvenating them.
Yeah. I don't know. It freaked me out.
Oh, huh.
I don't know.
I mean, I haven't seen it in decades and decades, but I remember thinking it was like a nice one.
Oh.
Yeah. No.
Then Contact, of course.
Oh, Contact is awesome.
Contact is awesome. Also, though, freaks me out. Mostly because of that religious dude, though.
Oh, he's freaky.
Yeah. Which, again, has more to do, I guess, less of the aliens' fault and more of...
Yeah, it's not their fault.
It's not.
No, I mean... Yeah, again, what's more likely that an alien's going to abduct me or a creepy religious nut is going to abduct me? Probably
The latter.
yeah.
For sure.
But yeah, I do think aliens are worth mentioning as
Yeah.
something I've been significantly afraid of for a decent chunk of my life.
Yeah.
Not so much anymore, but I'm pretty sure it's just because I don't live as near corn.
Really? You think that's it? Because you're...
I'd like to think it's not that, actually, now that you say it. I mean, it might be because I'm,
40.
I don't know. Yeah. I feel like my impulse is to say, because I'm 40 and I have all these years of not being abducted to draw on as evidence that probably I won't be in the future. But then I'm like, that's bad logic, though, isn't it? It's like flipping a penny and you flip the penny 50 times and all times it comes up heads. It doesn't. No, of course it doesn't.
But that's assuming that you're sampling with replacement as opposed to sampling without replacement. Because if you're sampling with replacement, it's like, so how many times, if I have 10 red beans and 10 green beans, so I'm sorry, for some reason, I was picturing like dry beans, but then I was like, ooh, green beans. It's almost 5:00 here, so it's showing.
Yeah.
But that you would, if you pick one out, what's the likelihood of getting a red one, and then with replacement would be next time you pick, you put it back. Mm-hmm. But I think in this case, you're sampling without replacement because you have not been abducted by aliens, nor has anyone you've known.
That I know of.
Yeah.
And
fair.
so your point is...
So my point is, I don't think it's sampling... I don't think it's a coin toss. I don't think it's sampling with replacement. I don't think it's the same odds every time.
You think it gets more and more likely that I'm going to be abducted by aliens? No. That's what you're saying.
No, I'm saying the opposite. That it gets more and more unlikely that you will be abducted by aliens. Because
they have their chance.
Yeah, you have to
take
into account the prior... This is Bayes' rule. You have to take into account the prior evidence that you have, the prior proportions.
Okay.
That would lead to that.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. So no, I think it's getting less and less likely. I think that's fair. That's my point. Yeah. All right. We have 2 more questions.
I will sneak in.
Yeah.
One more question, and this is from our friend
And then
Wolf.
we have one more. Mm-hmm.
And she says, do you think men are more afraid of snakes due to the inherently phallic nature of snakes? Does it intimidate them?
And we had talked about this on a previous episode.
Are men more afraid of snakes and women more afraid of spiders? It's a theory.
And I have data to share.
Excellent.
Yep.
I don't have data, but I do have the fact that I mentioned this to my mom.
Oh.
And she said, oh, I thought that immediately. So...
Well, I am looking at gender and age differences and the prevalence of specific fears and phobias by Fredrickson in the Behavior Research and Therapy paper. Fredrickson et al., actually. And this is from 1996, but I also feel like it's not like we've gotten new technology about phobias since then.
I think that's
as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find anything more recent because I did try. In this study, they were looking at a sample of 700 people.
Okay.
Randomly selected between the ages 18 and 70. And they looked at gender differences in phobias and whether or not they were significant.
Awesome.
Now, the thing worth noting is that in general, they found women are more likely to have phobias.
Okay.
But keeping that in mind, so the only 2 animals they looked at, so they had like specific phobias and then animal phobia versus situational phobia.
Okay.
And the 2 animals were snakes and spiders, which I feel like is fair.
Yeah.
And they found that that women, that there is a statistical difference, but women are more likely to be afraid of snakes.
Disagree.
And women are more likely to be afraid of spiders too. And interestingly, and they didn't look at like at least not as far as I could see on a cursory reading of this, didn't look at like just men and just women and how those phobias compared. No, that wouldn't be, because more men are afraid of snakes than spiders, but also more women are afraid of snakes than spiders.
That surprises me because it's... Yeah. And I believe what I said, I disagree a moment ago.
Yeah.
Which is not a thing you say to science usually.
Yeah, don't be one of those people.
I'm not one of those people. What I mean is God, that does not reflect the lived experience
Right.
that I have.
Well, and that's,
Now-
we have a small sampling size.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess.
Yeah.
We also live in a climate with not many snakes.
That's also true. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we just don't
You know
see
about that
snakes that often.
Peppa the Pig episode, right?
No.
Oh, Peppa the Pig is this kid's show.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Super annoying.
Really?
God, I hate it so much. Yeah. Daddy Pig is like, I don't know, he sucks. Anyway. So there was an episode all about Peppa being afraid of a spider, and basically the message was spiders aren't scary. It's okay. It's just a spider. And that episode was actually banned in Australia because they didn't want kids getting the message that spiders were something to not be afraid of.
Oh my God.
Which, like,
Oh, that's hardcore.
yeah.
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 Wow.
Yeah. So it could be climate.
Yeah,
It could be geographic. We live in a pretty and we don't have a lot of spiders to ultimately be afraid of either.
But we have way more spiders than snakes.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
we see spiders. They're not,
I don't want to
they're not scary
Yeah.
ones. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. I am afraid of spiders.
fair enough.
Yeah. I don't want to think about how many of them are around or
Zero
nearby.
in your house, obviously. There's never
Yeah,
been a spider
no.
inside Helen's house, and there never will be.
No.
Obviously.
No. Nope.
Yep.
They're too afraid of me.
No, that's it. Spiders are more afraid of Helen than they are snakes.
They should be.
Yeah, so, I mean...
So yeah, so there is a gender difference. Women are more afraid of both. Yeah. I know.
But
I don't know what to tell
does
you.
it say, are men more afraid of snakes than they are of spiders?
Well, that's what they didn't look at.
That's...
Oh no, I'm sorry. They didn't look at the statistical relationship between that. More men are afraid of snakes than spiders.
Oh, they are?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
all right.
But more women are also more afraid of snakes.
Oh, God,
than
you
spiders.
said this already.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. Yeah. Another thing that I found interesting was that heights was way up there for both.
I thought you meant that they found out how tall the people in the study were. Could they dunk a basketball? Oh, fear of heights, right.
Fear of
Is
heights.
this natural? Are they apes?
Yeah.
Are they gracile apes?
They all
Grassy?
gracile.
Gracile.
Yeah, they all would be gracile apes because they're people.
Got it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does that just mean, like, live in the grasses?
No, gracile, like coming from the French. So like meaning
What French? From the French word gracile that we all know.
meaning like delicate and small and like
We are a
you
small,
know.
delicate ape.
We are. Yes. So yeah, so that's my answer.
Okay. I
Yeah,
mean, it
I have
doesn't
an
really
answer for
address
that.
anything psychological, but it
No.
does suggest that if people in general are more
Yeah.
afraid of snakes than spiders, then it's
Right.
probably not a phallic thing.
And also like
But maybe it is.
I don't know how to say this without saying something super inappropriate. Well, so if we're looking at phobias of animals and men are afraid of snakes, I don't think the natural parallel would be that women are afraid of spiders. Right?
I would certainly hope not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll just say
Fair
that.
enough. Enough said. Yeah.
Okay, last question
Yeah.
is coming from Connie Nichols on Instagram. Have you had any real life experiences, supernatural, paranormal, unexplained phenomenon, etc., that you would want Mulder and Scully to investigate? And then there's a part 2 to that.
Yes. Definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Are you going to tell
Yep.
the people or are you just going to say yes?
Answer is yes. Moving
Yes.
along to part 2. No.
Yeah.
You probably know what I'm going to say, right?
Demon Bunny?
Demon Bunny.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the aforementioned boyfriend when I was a teenager, Matt, and I and my friend Andy, Matt's brother, it was spring break.
Andy is the one, if you've been listening, who Liz ran into.
After he rang the victory
Yes,
bell.
after he rang the victory bell.
I
Yeah.
don't know you.
Yeah.
It was spring break. We were
Oh, it's
18.
timely.
It is timely. What did we do? Well, we went to the big giant graveyard across from the Applebee's and
There wasn't a lot to do
No.
from where we're from.
No. So it was really long walk down this paved path into this graveyard. It's nighttime, to be clear.
How late at night? I'm curious.
Well, Applebee's was still open when this was all over because we went there. But
So
I think
before
they were
11, before 10?
It was probably before 11 or 10. Yeah.
Okay.
My
Okay.
guess would be after 9, but not
Okay.
significantly. I might have this written down because the next day I wrote down everything that happened so I wouldn't forget it.
Oh, that's good.
And we stepped from the paved path into this little more rocky path area with little bushes on either side. And it said this is the shrine section. I don't know what that means. And we were way far in the back. And this...
Probably meaning that people aren't actually buried there, that it's just shrines.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
That would be my guess.
Okay, yeah. So something came out from behind a bush. It was roughly bunny-sized, not bunny-shaped. Demon bunny is just what we call it. It moved...
What was the shape?
Not consistent.
Okay.
It kind of flowed like water in the way that it moved, and it was inky black, and Helen's face is just ever so slightly skeptical. But I want to point out
No, I'm listening.
three of us saw it at this stage.
Yes, I've gotten more like Mulder.
Okay, so 3 of us saw it emerge from the bush, and it was sort of creepy because that's not animal behavior, right? Like, animals are not like, wild animals are not like, oh, hey, people, cool, what's up, right?
Rabid ones are.
Okay, fair enough. Let me continue.
Yeah.
So we could take off running. In that way, maybe I do relate to Mulder. No, but we were running away, not towards
Mulder
it.
Would have been
run
running
towards it.
Yeah, for sure.
So we ran away, and we got about halfway back to the road, and we're kind of laughing, you know, like it was kind of like we're spooked, but it's also kind of ridiculous, you know?
Yeah.
And we pause, and we're about halfway back, and now at this point, Matt's not wearing his glasses, and so he does not see what happens next, but Andy and I can see, and we see that this thing followed us, and that is really weird.
It is still dark.
It is still dark.
Okay.
And this thing is, like I said, inky black.
Okay.
Small, moving along the ground right behind us. And we were running. And unfortunately, I am the only one who saw this next part. But I swear to God I saw it. I drew diagrams the next day. It drifted over a grave and then continued along the ground.
I still feel like it could be a plastic bag.
That is so dumb.
Drifting through the wind.
No.
Sorry.
I don't know that song.
Katy Perry, Fireworks.
Oh, I do know that song.
Yeah.
It was not a paper bag. It was not a plastic bag.
Yeah.
It was not... I mean, I've seen bags. I know what bags look like when they move in the wind.
Them at night in a cemetery?
It went straight down the path towards us.
Well, if the wind was...
No.
Okay.
No. It was an animal or something.
Okay.
You're not the first person to say plastic bag. It would have to be a solid black plastic bag that blew out from around a bush, paused, followed us straight down a path, drifted over a grave, then continued along the ground.
I feel like that's possible. I don't know that that's the most likely answer.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's possible with, like, wind and stuff. I mean...
So we went to Applebee's and got virgin daiquiris and were terrified.
My next question, though, is, was there any noise
No,
associated
totally
with it?
silent.
Totally silent.
No rustling.
No rustling.
No rustling.
Okay.
Totally silent. No distinguishable features. My feeling laying in bed that night when I was just terrified was something bad lives at that graveyard and now it knows me.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's hard for me because I have been in so many graveyards. I mean, like, so many cemeteries. I have been excavating in cemeteries. And I have been, like, at night in a basement by myself with skeletons and have never had...
Why?
Work.
At night in a basement with skeletons?
Yeah, if I have to work late.
Why are you in a basement?
Because that's where the museum is.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Honestly, I'm just way more afraid of the earwigs in that particular basement.
Number one creature you're afraid of now. Earwigs.
Yeah.
Reasonable.
Yeah.
Also was afraid of those when I was a kid, but that's all very...
That seems logical.
Not paranormal.
To me.
That's just normal.
Yeah. The other story you have that I would like an answer to is the headless person story.
Oh, I'm pretty sure this was just some bizarre art project, but it was pretty awesome.
Okay.
In 2003, I was in Amsterdam, again in March, and timely, and It was about 3 a.m. Me and my friend Jen had left a club. And I want to address what everyone is thinking when they hear this story. We were not high. I was not drunk. I'd had 2 drinks over the course of like 4 hours or something like that. And we got kind of turned around trying to get back to our hotel. It was dark. And then Jen said, "Oh my God, Liz, do you see that?" And I turned and looked behind me, and sitting on a bench was a headless man in a suit. And I screamed, "Run!" And we ran away. And we went to a McDonald's. And never found any information about that. I didn't think that was... it actually, until right now, it never occurred to me that could have been paranormal. I thought weird murder.
Well, right. Weird. I mean...
but unusual.
Yeah. Unexplained.
I did check papers the next couple of days to try to see, like, online and stuff.
Yeah.
Was there any mentions of a real weird murder in Amsterdam? Because they don't get murders too much in general. I think one with, like, a headless person on a bench would stand out.
Yeah.
I think it's far more likely it was a bizarre art project or something that we happened upon. Since then...
You've seen more headless people on
benches?
No,
I have, but it was a street performer in Italy. Was it Italy? I think so, but I'm not positive. It was Italy in 2019, who had it rigged so he looked headless because he had like a big shoulders, but then like a hat above it, and it was like a funny thing. But I don't recall this guy wearing a hat, and he wasn't moving. My thought was corpse.
Yeah.
Headless corpse.
Yeah. Oof.
Maybe it was our old neighbors, the vampires, following me.
They moved to Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Part 2. The part 2 to this question is, and if so, what actor would you want to play you in that episode?
Oh, where Mulder and Scully
investigate the Demon Bunny.
All right, so I was 18, so if we imagine I'm 18 in this episode, I don't know any actors.
Well, then don't think about them being 18.
Okay, I still don't know any actors. I don't know any. I mean, that's not true. I can name some, but they're just like not Meryl Streep, and she's like the only one popping in my head.
Take a real weird turn.
Yeah, I mean, like, I can't think of anyone. I don't know. I read that question and I thought, oh yeah, I'll just think of someone. No, I have no idea.
Okay.
Do you have any ideas who should play me? I mean, I was thinking about Zooey Deschanel because you mentioned New Girl earlier.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if she played me.
Yeah.
I don't think it's quite the right fit, but I'd be honored to have her play me.
Then let's say that.
Cool. Okay, cool. All right.
Plus, she's like, she can play young.
Okay.
I feel like,
all
so
right.
she, you know, she can play younger.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on board with that. I don't think I have an answer to this, do I? I was trying to think about this. I don't think I've had any... The one thing I can think of was, so when Zach and I got our first apartment together...
Yeah, that place was creepy, right?
Yeah. We lived downtown which was real common, these like Victorian houses that were split up into flats. And so we lived on the first floor of a 3-flat place. The third floor always stayed, or maybe it was just 2. I think it was just 2. The second floor was empty when we moved in. Later we got absolutely awful neighbors. It was old, but it was like charmingly old. I thought like it was very cute.
Yeah.
And it had like some pocket doors, and it was a 1-bedroom, and it had like a giant kitchen and then a sunroom in the back. And off of the kitchen, so there was a hallway going back towards the bedroom and the living room. And then so it was like 4 openings on each one of the 4 walls in the kitchen, and then the back one was going towards the sunroom, and then there was one that led out to the driveway, and then there was one that led out to the base, or that went down to the basement.
Right.
So the basement access was in our kitchen, and I barely even was creeped out by the apartment at the time. Like I never thought about being creeped out in it, except one time when I was awake late at night reading, and Zach had already fallen asleep. And he never talks in his sleep. He just snores in his sleep. And he sat up all of a sudden and went, "Someone's in the house."
Oh my God.
It was so scary.
Oh my God. That's
and then, of course,
so
I woke him up and I was like, what? And he was like, what? All ears.
Oh my God. Oh, that's terrifying.
So, yeah, I think I made him get up and look around. But I was never creeped out by it, really, except, like, I know our air conditioning unit fit better in the windows in the sunroom than it did in our bedroom. And so for a while in the summer, we slept in the sunroom instead. We put a futon in there. And so when I would have to get up to use the bathroom at night, I would have to walk through our, like, it was a really big kitchen with, like, a lot of open space. And I'd feel like I'd have to, like, crouch down. Like, I'd, like, want to, like, hunch my shoulders to my ears to, like, kind of scurry through it. I didn't like crossing the kitchen. And so years later, we're living in the house we're in now, which is not at all creepy. And, right? I'm just making sure.
Yeah. No, your house isn't creepy.
Okay,
no.
All right. Just making sure. And we were out at dinner with our friends Ellen and Steve, and we were talking about, like, supernatural stuff, and Ellen said, well, there was something wrong with your kitchen on Johnson Street. And it, like, the way she said it, it, like, hit me, and I felt like these huge, like literal, like, ice water being poured down your spine. Ooh. Like, it, like, freaked me out so bad because I had never, like, thought of it or put it into words.
Ooh.
And, like, but her, and Ellen has, like, some weird, her and her sister both have, like, some weird sixth sense sort of stuff. And so, like, her saying that, God, that freaked me out so bad. Like, I wanted to, like, cower there. Oh. Like, it was, Then she went on to elaborate that she always thought the reason why it was so creepy in the kitchen was partially because of the basement access, and partially, and this freaks me out so bad. Thanks, Ellen. Partially because above the door, so the door leading between the kitchen and the rest of the apartment, which we all agreed was fine, I had a little picture of Mary and Jesus that I had gotten from church. And so her thoughts were maybe that protected the rest of the house. Oh my
God, that's so creepy. I don't even believe that stuff, but it's really creepy.
I know, it's really creepy. Yeah.
Okay, and I will say this. I thought of your old place today because I was over there because I went to Tea Cider, formerly Matcha Tea House.
I do have a part 2 to this, but keep going.
I want to hear it.
Yeah.
But I glanced over that when I was looking for parking, and I saw they've raised the buildings, you know, and they've replaced them with new ones. And I just thought to myself, oh, good. So,
oh, God.
and I know it's just because you've told me that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't remember being afraid.
Yeah.
Well, didn't you guys have laundry in the basement?
Yeah, I never went down there. Zach did our laundry. Thank you, Zach.
Was it scary for him?
I don't know. Zach, you will have to let us know when you listen
Zach,
to this.
you should just edit this with your answer. And we'll find out when we listen to it. No, that wasn't me. Zach. That was Helen. I know it was really convincing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Interesting.
My guess is that no, it was not at all scary for him. There was a time when I heard meowing in our apartment, and I couldn't find where it came from.
Ghost cat.
Except no. Because I know where it came from eventually. I finally realized it was coming from the basement door, and I opened up the door to look, and there was a one-eyed black cat sitting on the landing. Yeah.
And why? How did a one-eyed black cat get in your basement?
Well, there was another access door, like, to the street. So that's part of why it was creepy, too, that, like, someone, if they could get in that door, could get up to, like, our apartment.
That's really creepy.
It's really creepy. Yeah. Now, this is the part 2.
Okay.
So, I ended up buying a subscription to newspaperarchives.com for grad school stuff.
Oh, okay. I've bought that myself once. I paid for some it was specific to get a funny article about Adam in a Scholastic Bowl competition in high school.
Aw.
Yeah. I mean, it was more to be funny than to be cute, but
yeah.
Either way, continue. Yeah. Sorry.
So I have a subscription to it if you ever need
That's interesting.
further articles.
I might.
And because I was using it for grad school stuff, and so I started looking up our old address. There wasn't like a murder or anything. Oh. But something that is kind of creepy is that in the, I want to say, well, it was early 1900s. I want to say maybe 1910s. I can't remember the date at this point, but I saved this. They talk about a family that lived in the building and had a daughter born named Helen Marie.
Oh.
So, it's kind of weird.
It's probably you.
Probably.
No.
I'm like Eugene Victor Toombs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except
Yeah.
instead of livers, you...
Potatoes.
Potatoes. And instead of emerging once every 33 years, you emerge every morning and you eat potatoes. And instead of a nest, you sleep in a bed. But otherwise, it's just
Totally.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess I'd want Mulder and Scully to investigate.
Okay, yeah.
My old
that
apartment.
house, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who would you want to play you?
So I was thinking about this because I also do not know the names of actresses.
Yeah.
And also speaking of New Girl, I thought of what's her name? Also from Mean Girls, Lizzie Kaplan.
I love Lizzie Kaplan.
Yeah, Lizzie Kaplan or maybe Kat Dennings.
Oh, yeah, okay. I could see that. Yeah.
I mean, both,
yeah.
you know,
Ooh,
brunettes.
can I choose? Well, she's British, but I would want to
Yeah.
choose the girl who plays Fleabag for me.
Oh, really?
But
What's
Phoebe Wallace-Bridge? Something like that?
Sure.
She's British, though.
I'm sure she could do an
But
accent.
yeah, she could do an accent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have her play me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good choice.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, this was fun.
Yeah, we'll do this again.
Yeah. Awesome.
And,
And also see if, like, some of our answers change about Mulder and Scully and,
and honestly, this is probably just scratching the surface of things we've been afraid of.
oh, God,
So, yeah.
yeah. All right, cool. Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.